Hey guys, I'm doing something a bit different in this video. So anyways, it's getting a bit close to Christmas, so I thought I'd do something like the 12 Demons of Christmas. However, at the time I'm recording this, there's 4 days remaining, so you only get 1 demon. Instead of 12, it's 1 demon, because I have 1/12 of the budget. And the level I'm gonna do for this Demon of Christmas is the end by Zylenox. Now, I have a bit of history with this level. Basically, when I beat Windy Landscape like 2 years ago, one of my friends was like, hey, now that you can beat insane demons, let me recommend you an easy new hardest for you to beat, which is also an insane demon, which means it's in your skill range. So I was like, yeah, I can beat this, because it's also an insane demon. But I was wrong, because for some reason insane demon has like the biggest difficulty gap ever, and the difference between the end and Windy Landscape was massive, because, let's see, this is a tier 20 on the GDL, so it's basically a borderline extreme, and a lot of people actually think it was like, there's someone who thought this was a tier 23 extreme. But anyways, during that time I got like my ass kicked. I dropped the level after like 30 minutes of playing, which was 1 practice run. But anyways, now that I'm better, I think I can beat it now, which I did. Well, I guess you're staring at like a 100% screen now. But anyways, my experience as a mobile player, it was honestly really fun, besides like the shit parts. But I feel like I died a lot less than maybe a lot of people on this level. Like there was one guy who died at 94%, 57 times. How? That's like next level terms of unlucky. And if you see here, damn, only 994 deaths. I might be like 4 times luckier than that other guy. Well, enough yapping. I'm just gonna get into a practice run and show you guys whatever I'm gonna show you. This beginning, saw some really nice art. I'm playing in low detail because like my phone cannot handle high detail. But anyways, this beginning gets really consistent, so I mean most of the level gets consistent, but this part especially. Anyways, first thing I need to point out is this green dash orb. I played this level for maybe a week and I still have no clue how this green dash orb mechanic works, because when I do that, and let me see if I can make it work. If I hold too early or something, I just fall off and like hit that spike. So I think what I do for this dash orb is I hold it immediately and then I just let go when it gets to the end of the block after the portal. Anyways, this slow speed part, I found it really hard because of like the sudden change in speed, but as I said, after a while it gets pretty consistent. Next part of the level, the defining characteristic of this level, this terrible transition. This is the first one. You can't see a thing. It's basically something you need to like get used to, like a muscle memory thing, or you can just use like song cues. But other than like the bad transitions, this level is basically a perfect level for me. A song, after all, this part at the UFO, the drop is like insanely good. Anyways, another tip I have for that part, I was always clicking like twice in this gap here. This UFO transition just always killed me from 0 when I was doing 2 clicks. And it just never happened during start positions. But what I found as a fix for that, do 3 clicks instead. Anyways, I do 3 clicks into that. That's what I found is the most consistent. Let's try to hit off this here. This is some blue orb. You know, it's black for some reason. That's the theming of the level. But that blue orb, you have to hit at the exact middle, or else you'll die on like I'd show you which spikes I'd be dying to, but I guess I can't. Side effects of a mobile player, I guess. But this first duel, it's really not that hard. Anyways, ship part. Ship part I really had like not that many issues with, but then there's this freaking saw here, which was insanely painful, because like half the time I'd hit that saw instead of going into this like tiny gap here. But again, it got consistent, so it was pretty nice. That's the first straight fly part. Another blind transition here, by the way. You can see I die to a lot of blind transitions because they're blind, and sometimes I just don't get used to them. This part is really cool, by the way. Just the roomy vibe, because it's in a room. But I kind of saw this part as like the break part right before the duel, because like I never really died to it. Except like even these two orb inputs, they're so hard. Yet I just never died to them, which was I guess like a muscle memory thing. Yeah. Anyways, the easiest part is coming up. Actually, something to say about this part. This part here where you're just like resting here. I used to like wipe my hands every time I got here. And one time I didn't I was wiping my hands too slowly, because in this transition I just accidentally fell off the block like this. It was so funny. You can see it in my deaths. Yep, a 60 over here, two 61s. Those are like some of my most embarrassing deaths. Cause this I call it the pipe part, but this pipe part is like basically the easiest part of the level by far. So all you do is hold, jump, 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 hold again, jump, jump. I jumped 2 times there. And you're done. Finally, infamous part of the levels coming up. This is the duel. This transition is also pretty blind. You get used to it though. I only died there once because I wasn't paying attention. Anyways, tip for this ship part. What I found was the most consistent for me was after you do this, just click once between each one of those portals. And then that's how I did it. This part, I clicked 2 times once I hit the green orb, and then that aligns my things really easy. But I actually never died to that ship UFO combination, even though it's so hard. Anyways, this part of the level, I hate it. This transition, the ship transition, it's like so bad. Because when you're doing it, you cannot see a single thing in this part. But what I found was I made this cool click pattern where I do 1 click, 2 clicks here, with the last click being a bit longer than the first click. And then I click another 2 times in this transition when it turns black. So I get over that gear like that. And that's how I did it most of the time. Then there's another bad transition after this part, which I also got used to. Basically, how I aligned this one is when this song says like as it says I just click when it says I, and it just works every time. So this wave part looks really intimidating, but really it's not that hard. Anyway, something funny about this ship part is I see everyone who plays this level always struggle with it, but for some reason I only died twice at the end of this part. Like, I found no issue with like the transition or anything. So I guess I'm like dual carried or something. Because overall, I never really found any of these like asymmetric duels very hard. They're honestly the most consistent part of the level. Okay, maybe that's an exaggeration. But the amount of times I died in the duel, it starts at 67 by the way. They're like, half of them are at the end. There's 67, 72, 77, 78, that's the like, that one ship transition I was talking about. And then after this, I just died past 90. So what I do in this part is I hold up to get over that saw. Let me turn on ship boxes to show about this. I go up to get over that saw, right? Like hold here, and then I click lightly when I'm between the saws in the back here. And then I just hold to readjust myself. So let me do that. Yep, and it's insanely consistent for me. What the heck? How am I down here? Wait, that was fire. Wait, how did I do that? Wait, can I jump from there? Wait, that's meta. Someone's gotta do that in their completion, because that's so aura. Anyways, the 90s. Literally like the most nerve-wracking part, because it's right before the ship, and the ship's like impossible, as I said. Let's leave hitboxes in this. Oh my god. This straight fly, it was so painful. And I'm pretty sure everyone thinks they're painful. That one guy who died at 94 57 times, I'm sorry that you had to go through the straight fly. What I do in this part is I click light here, and then I click 2 times while going down. And then this part, it's basically just luck. Try to straight fly. Just get better at straight fly. I still cannot do this part. But sometimes you pass it. Then you're at this part. Which, it's like extremely nerve-wracking once you pass it. But the trick is, like, these hitboxes are a lot smaller than you would think for these things. Like, look at that. That spike is like all the way up there, but the hitbox is a lot lower than it looks. So these gaps aren't as tight as they look, but they're still really hard. Let me do this part once. 1, 2, 3. I do 3 quick stare. Then this part, what I found was just click once here, like between these, and you click twice after that. No. Click twice after this. Okay, I cannot do this. Anyways, I'm gonna do a run from like 94 and show you guys the entire ship part. Bam. That's the end of the level. Oh god, I'm gonna have a horrible time editing this. Anyways, in summary, fire level, bad transitions, however, still fire level. I still enjoyed it.